Hi everybody, Scott here, back at the Jostens service station. Time for another school year, so that means a fill-up for the month of August. Coming up in a moment, some great ideas and advice on leading a yearbook staff remotely from a yearbook advisor who did this all of last year, not just back in the spring. And let's be honest, some folks are already doing this again and others may be following them. So stay tuned for some great ideas. But first, let's start with some news. Okay, is everybody doing fine? I hope you are in this most uncertain year ever. I mean, it's crazy, right? Some folks are doing remote learning here to start again, like back in the spring. Other folks, all the kids are going back to school, at least for now. Some folks are doing that hybrid idea, which is a little bit of both. But no matter what, there's going to be a school year, and everybody out there has stories to tell. And it's your job to tell as many of those in your historic 2021 yearbook. Yes, you will have a yearbook this year. I mean, how could you not? This is the most historic school year maybe of all time. We need to tell all those great stories so that we can remember them forever. Here's a quick note about pictures, in this case, headshot pictures. Trust me on this one. School portrait photographers have been planning for months on what to do this fall. They will find a way, no matter what, to get it done. Now, what to do right here at the beginning? Well, that has never changed. It's all about organization and planning. Who do we have on staff? What are everyone's responsibilities? What's the theme of the book this year? Have you designed a custom cover design yet if you do that? Over the summer, our Jostens cover artists were really busy doing online cover sessions with some really awesome designs. But as we're recording this, the great majority of schools still haven't done this yet. So be sure to contact your Jostens representative soon to make sure your group gets on the online schedule with one of our terrific Jostens cover artists. Now let's talk about pictures, in this case, the ones that you take. And especially we're thinking about day one of the school year, a day that a lot of yearbook staffs never really cover in the yearbook. But think about it. This is going to be the most historic day one ever. Think about all the changes out there, changes in your building, on the schedule, masks and social distancing, or maybe remote learning again. All those great stories from day one you need to collect. If you've never done a page or a spread about the first day of school in your book, this is the year to finally do that. Another aspect right now, make sure your staff is well trained. And this year, our cool new Jostens J classes will come to the rescue. Eventually, a full run of 30 different classes on the flipped classroom model. That means you start with a brief video and then you follow up with activities or fill-out sheets. Along the way, your staff gets really well trained, and this year, as challenging as things are going to be, you need a well-trained staff. The J classes are awesome. Be sure to contact your Jostens representative to get more information on when they'll be available on your Yearbook Avenue website, how to use them, and then let's train everybody up. Well, perhaps you've already been Zooming or doing other online video activities. And let's face it, by fall, a lot of folks might be doing this everywhere. How is a yearbook advisor supposed to lead a yearbook staff when you're not all together? Recently, we talked to a veteran advisor who did this all of last year and over 2,000 miles away from her staff. Grab a pen and pad for some great ideas.
Hello, my name is Erika Lin Payne. I am the Yearbook Advisor for the Rock Academy in San Diego, California, and I advise from Kentucky.
I always start each year with what I call a SWOT analysis. This is something, my husband's a big corporate guy, and this is something that they always do with their executive planning. You look at the strengths, you look at the weaknesses, you look at the opportunities, and then you look at the threats. And so I always tell my students, threats are things that we cannot control. So we take our weaknesses, we turn them into opportunities, and the things that we can't change, we just put, I call it tabled. And I've always had my teams, we get together in the summer. So instead of us meeting up at Starbucks and doing some big planning or having a pizza party at my house and going swimming, we ended up just meeting on Zoom every Sunday night. And so after I did my SWOT analysis, came up with what I needed to, we did a SWOT analysis as a team. So first with my editorial staff and then with the whole group. And we just continued to add and build that list really build out our strengths and opportunities. That's what I really try to focus on, is the S and the T, because I want to keep it positive. I want to keep them excited about the school year. So every day we have a post of the day, and somebody's responsible for posting on Instagram, and we have a schedule. So if it was Kennedy's turn, she would put her photo up, she would put her caption, and then 2 people would have to approve it on a group chat. And that way we would know that there was a record, that it was approved. We also, like I said, we had a weekly staff meeting. So the first time we met, whether it was Monday or Tuesday, that 90-minute class, for the most part, was us brainstorming the week ahead and getting ahead of things. Everybody has a 15-second checkup. So we would go around and everybody gives. I would put the bullet points, what they're supposed to address, and they would have 15 seconds to address all of those things. They know that it was coming, so they could prepare themselves, and it gets better as the year goes on. So we had a lot of communication. And then on the other days when we're working, they're working with their screen on. I'm on their screen, hello. I can see them at any time. I can be like, hey, Scott, share with me what you're working on. And then you and I could talk through some stuff, and I'd be like, okay, and I'd unshare with you, and then I would go to Kennedy. And I talk to the parents. We have parent meetings. Every time before a big deadline, I send an email out to the parents. Hey, here's what your daughter's working on. Here's what your son's working on, and so they know what's going on. So we got tripped up by spring sports not happening, and we had that pile of evergreen stories on the back end. So we took a lot of stuff that we had done early on in the year, and we're able to plug it in and have extra trend spread. And I think we have an amazing opportunity to tell different stories. What are some family traditions that we've never covered in the book before? Our school is 20% international, and we're going to lose that diversity this year. I'm going to spend a lot of time at the beginning of the year developing interview skills with my students. Our team is significantly bigger. There's actually 2 periods of yearbook this year for the first time ever. So that's amazing at our school. And so the skill set I'm going to focus on is going to be way different.
A big thank you to Erika for sharing her experience on advising remotely. Again, she did this all last year, long before the virus showed up, and their yearbook turned out great. And no matter what this year, yours will too, no matter what happens in the future. But you only saw a small portion there. To hear the entire 45-minute interview filled with more great ideas on remote advising, be sure to check out our podcast at the address shown on the screen. And be sure while you're there to follow our Yearbooking Report podcast so you never miss an episode. Finally, for high schools and colleges out there, our new Jostens Yearbook Plus digital tool is simply going to change the game this historic year. It doesn't matter if you're at school or somehow learning again at home. Every student in school will have the chance to tell their own story with their own pictures, up to 10 times coverage and easy to use. This is not an app. It's tied to the pages of your yearbook. Anybody can do it with any device that they have. Pictures are always moderated for appropriateness, and advisors can do the same before everybody gets to see all this great storytelling when your book comes out. And yearbook staffs will be able to do more storytelling with more images also tied to pages of your book. This amazing new digital feature is going to change the game of yearbook storytelling, and you need to use it. Be sure to contact your Jostens representative for more information. Well, whether if you've started school already this year or if you're about to start, take a deep breath. Don't let this crazy situation get to you this fall. And let's make an epic yearbook for a truly epic year. And be sure to make your Jostens representative your partner to make sure all of that happens. Even maybe if your school doesn't currently work with Jostens. Let's be honest, you could probably use any kind of help this year, right? Let your Jostens representative be an active member of your team this year. You will not be disappointed. Thanks again for watching.